Happy holidays, mi gente! And as we bring in the holiday cheer, we welcome back an award-winning violinist and violist who's performed backup for acclaimed artists such as Madonna, Miley Cyrus, John Batiste, and that's just to name a few. Her sound is a classical pop fusion with influences of Beethoven and Michael Jackson. And as an educator, she gives back to her students the skills and strategies to become the best musician they can be. Joining us to share more. And in studio today, we welcome back educator and professional violinist and violist, Dr. Nicole Wright. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
So nice to meet you in person.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. We're excited to share your wonderful talents with our viewers live in studio today. So first, let's just talk a little bit about how life has been since our last get-together, right? Because I believe our last get-together was in 2022.
Yeah.
We shot virtually, right? We were still coming back from the pandemic.
We were.
And it was a pretty challenging time for artists, such as yourself, to basically perform because you had no audiences, and we were happy to highlight you, and you were able to present us with a beautiful video of your work. And so obviously you're out there in the field now.
I am.
Yeah, and you're also educating in college.
Well, I educate from the first grade all the way up to senior year, and then I can educate college students. However, currently I do not have college students. So when I was getting my doctorate degree, I was a co-adjunct at Rutgers University.
I see, okay.
And there I was teaching undergrad dictation classes who needed tutoring, and I would teach secondary music majors. I would coach chamber classes to undergraduates, but currently I do not have any college students.
Okay, so now you're not doing college students. You were.
No. Yes, it was while I was getting my doctorate.
Okay, all right, so I probably should have read further.
No.
Totally fine. No, it's lovely that you're actually working with the next generation because you're preparing them for the college. How about that?
Yes, and I'm working with a program that I grew up with who started me on the violin, and it's so special to me because this program brings music into the public schools of Harlem, and it makes sure that students can learn how to play the violin no matter their financial background. And that is one of my teaching philosophies. I really resonate with that, which is why I like to share a lot of educational content on Instagram. And so there I can share my information freely. And then in this program, I also get to work with students also freely because they don't have to pay for their music lessons in public school. However, they do in after school.
I understand, and I get it, right? Because it becomes more meaningful when you know it's accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And so you're saying this is a school that actually introduced you?
Yes, I began the violin at the age of 5 with the encouragement of my mother. She migrated from Jamaica, and her grandfather, well, her father played the violin, my grandfather, and so she wanted me to learn the violin. However, where I lived, no one played the violin, so she went all the way to Manhattan to find a school that would teach the violin. And so I ended up enrolling in an elementary school where they had violin for free twice a week within the school curriculum. And that's where I began. And then after that, my mom said I would just walk around and pull people and ask them, like, will you listen to me play? And I would perform for people, even though I didn't know very much. I also, when I was little, almost how my mother knew I was going to be a teacher is I used to line up my stuffed animals. We had a glass wall unit in my home. And so I would line up my stuffed animals in front of the glass wall unit, and I would see like a lot of stuffed animals and a bunch of needs, and I would just start teaching. I didn't know what I was teaching, but I would teach whatever came to mind. And I would walk around with a book bag and just always try to teach something. And so it wasn't very surprising to my mom when I became a music educator.
So how long have you been an educator within the elementary to high school?
How long have I been an educator?
Yeah.
So I've been an educator for, I'm going to age myself.
Okay, we don't have to do that.
No, it's totally fun. I've been an educator for about 10 years because I've been with this program at least 10 years. And prior to that, I was teaching again in my doctorate program, and then I was also teaching in my undergraduate because I have an undergraduate degree. I have a double major in performance and music education. So there I also did student teaching at Stuyvesant High School, where they asked me to come back and be their guest conductor. I also taught in public schools upstate New York.
And so this is the education portion of your life, right?
Yeah.
And so you do this during
Yes.
the day, and then you have to transform
Yes. Yeah.
for the evening
Yes.
to actually perform.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yes, so let's talk about that, the
Okay.
balance of
Okay.
that.
It takes a lot of balance, and what is great about the position that I hold within the school that I work at now is that I only teach 3 times a week. So I get to have performance days from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all lined up, and I leave that completely available. Also, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I finish at 3 o'clock, which allows me to go to a rehearsal, a recording session, a performance. And Wednesdays, I do teach in the evening, but I make sure that I am able to get out in time so that I will make it in time for rehearsals. Because even though we have performances Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday, we need to have rehearsals to make sure we have enough material prepared for that performance, and that takes quite a bit of time. And every performance is often different music because I work with different entertainment companies, which means I need to have rehearsal outside of them. So I do have a certain days a week where I schedule out my practice. I answer my emails. I do the admin work for set lists that I have to do for clients that I have. And then I leave the evening for the rehearsals, performances, or recording sessions.
You could tell you're an educator.
Oh, really? Thank
You are breaking it down for anybody interested in
wow.
understanding
Thank
that
you.
there's different areas in which you need to apply yourself, and correspondence is one of them. And you just shared that you kind of block out a specific day for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's good. It's good. It's very
Thank
good. Anyway,
you.
I've been to your Instagram, so I know that you like helping artists understand the
do.
importance of contracts and
I
what to
do.
include in their contracts and what
Yes.
clause to look out for.
Yes.
So, yes, you were definitely born an educator.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was so happy to share, be the guest lecturer at NYU so that I can share this information with the music pedagogy class currently there. And so whenever I get the chance, I love to just spread information because knowledge is wealth. And when I leave, I want everybody to be in a better position. For instance, I want my students, I'm teaching them so that they can grow up to be better than me, so that they can teach their students to be better than them. And if everybody does that, the world is just going to be a much better place, and we'll be in a much better standing.
And so, just to be clear, you have a doctor in
Musical arts. Yes.
musical arts, right? And so, how does one attain that?
Well, my program, I think you can complete it within 3 years. I completed my program in 5 years. So I had 3 years of coursework. And in that coursework, you have to take, again, several classes. After you finished your classes, you also have orchestra and you have lessons. Then you have to complete 3 performances. You have to write a lecture paper. You have to have a 10-hour written exam. Then you have a 1-hour oral exam. And you'll have your language proficiency, which I chose French. And you have an exam for that as well. And then after that, you have, if I said everything, you can obtain your degree. I hope I didn't miss anything because I actually graduated between like 2018, 2019. So I could have forgot something.
I didn't ask you to give me all that. But no, you're like, I mean, it's all good. No, it's good. No, it's wonderful. I mean, I'm happy that you're sharing. I appreciate the transparency. And then I wanted you to help us understand what's the difference between a violin and a viola.
Okay, so a viola has a deeper sound, and it also has a C string, whereas the violin has an E string. So the violin will have an E, A, D, G, whereas the viola has an A, D, C, A, D, G, C. So the viola has the same strings as the cello, and the violin has an E string, where the viola has a C string. The viola also is a warmer tone. It is bigger than the violin. So as a result, you have to really have a lot of arm strength, and you want to really use the weight of your arm to pull the sound of the instrument. Whereas the violin, it has lots of great versatility, as well as the viola, but you don't need as much arm weight to sink into the string for it to resonate.
So do most people who study violin learn the viola or vice versa?
There's quite a bit of people who do both. I was playing the violin, and one of my teachers, I went to the Juilliard, the MAP program, and one of my teachers, Margaret Pardee, was like, you really have a viola sound. And then, but we didn't think anything of it.
So what is a
And
viola
then,
sound? Is it because it's
like a
deeper?
deep sound, like
Okay.
a rich sound. And we didn't think anything of it. But then later on, when I was at Mannes Pre-College, well, I always was at Mannes Pre-College. There was a period where I was at Juilliard MAP program, or pre-college. My teacher, Sophie Arbuckle, she said they needed a violist for a specific program, and that program, you needed to audition on the viola. And so I think I was like playing the song for about I don't remember the amount of weeks because this was in high school. But I landed the audition, and then they ended up taking me to Europe, and then it kind of just snowballed from there. So then I continued both throughout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you switch up according to the gigs?
Yeah. Whenever they need it, the client will tell me what they're looking for, or the music contractor will tell me what they're looking for, and I'll just bring the instrument. But they know that I play too.
And today you're going to be playing which?
The violin.
You're going to be playing the violin.
Yes.
Which do you prefer? Do you have a preference?
No, I love
You
them
don't?
both.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like both my children. I can't choose.
All
I love
right.
them both.
And so do you have, I know you mentioned Europe, do you have any upcoming tours?
I do. I'll be touring with Orchestra Noir, and so we have quite a few tour dates coming up. I think we're out of town about 2 to 3 times every single month, going to a different state and a different city.
Is that European?
I don't think we have any European stuff coming up, so it's just all around the U.S.
Okay.
So I think we have like New Orleans, we have Nashville, we have Washington, we have Chicago, and so on.
And Noir is French? Are they singing French?
No,
There's no singing. It's just
There's
music.
no singing.
I know right away.
Yes.
I always go to vocalists, and when in fact it's like, darling, we're doing chamber music. Come on.
This is an orchestra
Oh,
too,
it's an
so they're
orchestra,
playing
okay.
like R&B, and they're playing hip hop, and
Well, that's
they
your
do
flavor
it with an
too,
orchestra.
right?
Yeah,
We didn't get to talk about your fusion, and we must before
okay.
we send it off to your performance. Yeah.
Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm so excited because since the holiday season is upon us, we're in the holiday season. I wanted to create a song, but I wanted to create a song that had a melody of songs. I wanted to put a mashup where, like, when the audience member is listening to one song, it is a combination of many.
So it's a medley, right?
Yes.
It's a
Yes,
medley,
yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes,
really what I was alluding to is the fact that you've got like a beat in there, so it kind of urbanizes it as
Yes,
well.
I did
So
something
love
different
that.
this time. Yeah,
I love
did
that.
something different this time and added a beat to it. Usually I do classical, so I was happy to add
Yeah,
a
but
beat
it's
to
going
that.
to be more relatable to our viewers.
Oh, yay.
So do you have a title of what you're going to be presenting for us today?
It's called the Christmas Song Mashup.
Oh my gosh, this sounds lovely. I can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fire, fire, fire. Oh my gosh. Dr. Wright, everyone. Oh my gosh. That was puro fuego. Puro fuego. Thank you for blessing our Open Artist Spotlight stage. Once again, everyone, Dr. Nicole Wright. And for more information, you can check her out on Instagram at wright.music. And stay tuned because there's more when we return.
Yay.